Hey guys, the fuck is that? Comments. There we go. Just reacting to this video again, and I don't have much to say. Let's go. I just watching a video that Amaranth apparently got banned off YouTube. I I'll put it this way. I think like take a porn star or prostitute and Amaranth. I respect the generally. I'd have to know their personality. But I respect the prostitute or the porn star better because at least they're honest. Amaranth whole platform is yes, and all the like booby streamers on Twitch are like, oh, I'm your friend. I'm your friend. I'm your friend. And boobs out. Oh no, I'm not doing anything sexual. They're basically lying and showing the boobs to get popular. Well, you know exactly what you're getting with porn and prostitutes and strippers, so I respect them more. And I mean, I don't know her Amaranth's personality, Caitlyn's personality, but I can't imagine it's very nice. The industry isn't very nice. Okay, let's go.
She's just reciting from the red pill script of how the world works that Rolo helpfully printed.
The fuck?
I would be far more likely to listen to Sydney.
I'll be right back. I need a tissue. Sorry, I need a tissue. Okay, let's continue.
Sydney's reasoning and recognize it as true than I would Pearl's edgy dunk on women. To be honest, I thought Sydney didn't just show up the feminists, but I really thought she also showed Pearl up. I've always found Pearl way too simplistic in her thinking, as I say, and lacking in nuance, and like she's just reciting from the red pill script of how the world works that Rolo helpfully printed out for her.
If this is what all red pillars think, stuff from today and stuff from yesterday, why does anyone like them? No, I think there's gotta be more substance there, because a lot of it just women are awful, and
for her. But I didn't realize just how bad she looks when she's contrasted with someone who actually thinks of themselves and has intelligent, well-rounded answers, or just gives a bit more nuance to things, rather than Pearl, who just seems to unquestionably swallow every red pill she can get her hands on like a good little addict. So that's a problem I've had with Pearl for a while. I think in her oversimplified worst-case scenario explanations for everything, she's damaging relations between men and women, presenting a warped view of how women are.
I definitely agree. Sorry. I definitely agree. I don't know why. Again, I don't know how you can hold some of these positions. With had she ever seen? I mean, you can see all women in all sorts of positions. If you look on the news or just drive outside, again, she cannot hold these positions and live and watch the news or television. Hell, you can't hold these positions and watch a TV show.
are and fueling resentment in men. Unsurprising, because if I was a man and thought being a woman was exactly how it's often presented on Just Pearly Things, I would be resentful too. And then I also think
because she said women can't have can't hold leading positions, and they're lazy when acting is quite hard, and it's quite hard industry to get into.
She's pushing women away from wanting to hear or understand men's point of view, because why the hell would you want to listen to someone who thinks you're spoiled and entitled?
I'd get rid of birth control. I'd ban it, but that'll never happen.
Why would you want to?
I don't think women should know.
Huh?
I think she just. I think an authentic observer, Teo, I'm gonna call you Teo. Teo, is right. She just said things to get a rise out of people. I mean, it's stupid.
I don't think women should vote.
That'll get women on side. I do also think that she demonstrates a lack of critical thinking. She's weirdly worshipful of people like Rollo Tomasi to a degree I find a little icky. Like, are you okay? Can you not find anyone less creepy and insane to simp for? And seems to unquestioningly
I
accept.
think it's either she's just saying things to try and get a rise out of people, or being rich causes this kind of shit in people. To just you never had to experience any hardship, so you don't know what it's like, I suppose.
Accept whatever he says. I just find she'll question views from the other side, like and like ferret.
Like Teo said, she'd never had to work hard in her life, so she thinks that's what it's like for everyone, maybe.
Just question them, but then not her own views or views coming from other red pillars. She just seems to kind of take them at face value. I mean, maybe she's questioned them in the past, but not from anything I've seen. I don't know. Maybe she.
I think you should always question everything you're told, even if you agree with it. Just be like, that makes sense. Always question both sides. Now, this may be controversial. I think even if somebody comes with you a rape thing, or obviously that's a little bit more delicate, but don't one thing I disagree with Teo over here. I don't think you should automatically believe if somebody said they were raped, automatically believe it. I think you should obviously try and protect that person, but innocent until proven guilty. It's a good system. Maybe she believes in this.
Maybe in more recent stuff, or maybe there are cases of her criticizing Rollo's views. To be fair, I don't know, but from what when I was watching Feb, just seemed to be parroting whatever he says, and I do not think he is a good source of information, as we know. What's really funny about that I heard of apparently Rollo's gone off at Pearl now as well, which is so funny. Don't worry, Pearl. I mean, join the club, but don't worry. He just doesn't like women very much. It says literally nothing about you or your content. He's just a bitter old hag. He thinks he's responsible for like every men's movement ever, because he's old, so it must be killing him that you are more successful than him and you've only been doing it a few months.
I wonder how you become successful with saying stuff like this. Are people really that dumb? I mean, people are dumb, but do people just... Why shouldn't women vote? I mean, if I was running for office of something, I would say, hey, yeah, I want women to vote. More potential people to vote for me. If you want to go shallow about it.
And also you're talking about like all his stuff. Oh my God, no wonder he hates you. This is slightly irrelevant, but you know what? Like, I just kind of want to say this because this is kind of irrelevant, but it just like kind of irritated me. She talks about this all the time. I just find it a little bit bizarre. And this is a common like red pill talking point. It's the thing that men are attracted to women with lower body counts and women are more attracted to men with higher body counts. Okay, I can see.
I don't about the body count thing. I don't think at least. She's gonna go on to say she cares about it, but in my opinion, it's about the personality more than the body count. I don't like me and my girlfriend. I didn't even ask her until like a week ago. And dating for like a month, but 2 months. She's gonna be angry with me. Almost 3 months, but it'll be a 3 month coming this up. But I didn't ask her till like a week ago because I cared about more her personality. It just didn't come up. Maybe it comes up with other people, but it did. I'm not. Let's see what she.
See that there's a kind of a level of truth there, but her whole thing seems to be that the higher a man's body count is, the more
she's gonna bring a point up. I was gonna bring a point that she said, but I want her to bring it up first.
Woman will be attracted to him, and she also said that she literally wouldn't care at all how many women her husband had been with, even if it was like a ridiculously high number. She said it wouldn't change her view on him even slightly, and wouldn't put her off marrying him. And I don't know. I'm just thinking. I mean, I think that's just you.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it's shit like this that kind of gives like a really warped view on things, or really like overgeneralized, or just like maybe I'm the only woman in the world who feels this.
Maybe I haven't thought about it much because I haven't dated people that don't have a high, that haven't had a high body count, so it hasn't been as important to me,
Maybe I am a total anomaly. I don't know. But if I was considering dating someone and I found out their body count was like ridiculously high.
I don't know. If somebody told me the body count was about 100 or 200, I'd be like, okay. I remember that woman who said, I'm going for 300. I'm trying to have with 365 people in a year, or that crazy shit. Like, you clearly don't have any restraint. And you just care about sex. So, no thank you. I wouldn't even have sex with you. If I wasn't dating someone, I probably would. It depends. I don't know. No, I wouldn't. You might have a disease. I've been more worried about that lately. About diseases and stuff. Apparently some diseases like HIV, or I forget what it's called, can be transmitted through kissing, or not even sex as traditionally done. And it's been scaring me lately. I'm glad I didn't have sex with very many people, is what I'm saying.
Absolutely, it would change my opinion of them, and absolutely, I would be less attracted to them. That's like not even hard for me to consider. Even if I didn't want to be less attracted to them, I would be without being able to help it. And I'm not talking a reasonable number here, but like something really.
The thing is, I wouldn't be attracted to them for the person. I would be attracted to them for how they look, and at that point, you're just an object, And at that point, that's more of an insult than anything.
High, yeah, it wouldn't make me think he was such an awesome Chad who was like really high value and I better snag him quick. No, I would immediately be concerned about his character. I would be thinking, right, so he's easily distracted, he has low standards, little self-control, isn't very disciplined, is not very discerning if his head is easily turned by a pretty face. It clearly doesn't take much to impress him. Is flighty, treats the people around him as disposable, maybe, might be selfish, is likely immature, and also, like, what's the problem there? Why does he feel the need to do that? Is there lacking something in his life? Does he struggle with forming deeper connections? Is he insecure and desperate for female validation? All of those things would go through my mind, even if I didn't want them to. Now, it may or may not be a deal breaker.
That's understandable.
depending on various factors and what I knew of him as a person, because some of those worries, like some of that might not be true, but it certainly wouldn't be something that would make him more attractive, or something that just wouldn't bother or concern me at all. And I'm not just saying that. I'm not talking in a hypothetical here. I've been very interested in someone before, found out the numbers were absolutely wild, and it changed my opinion of him. I couldn't help it. I saw him as less responsible.
I've dated people with body counts of 2 or 3. It was always more the personality. I was either a crazy person or we just didn't match all the way. It was more a personality thing. That's probably why I care about more the personality, because that's something I've been more had trouble more with.
Responsible.
Become therapy with Jacob.
Less discerning, thoughtless how he treated people, unreliable, slightly childish, had no idea what he wanted, insecure and desperate for female attention, and thus I was less attracted to him and just thought, nah, this feels like drama. Go live your life however you want, but I'm good. Don't waste my time with this childishness.
If it looks like he's cheating, if he's acting like he's cheating,
You're gonna assume he's cheating.
Ask the goddamn person. Well, they may not tell the truth. Ask his friends or whatever. Hopefully, I don't know. What does it look like to cheat? Are you nervous? Or I don't know. If I don't like assuming someone cheating. So, and I don't know what acting like cheating or look like cheating unless you catch them in the act.
and you'll fall in love because women love being cheated on.
No,
What?
I'm good. Don't waste my time with this childishness.
If it looks like he's cheating, if he's acting like he's cheating,
You're gonna assume he's cheating.
and you'll fall in love because women love.
Jesus Christ. No. No. Why? That had never been a thing, ever. I've never known a woman that likes being cheated on. Even the women that I've known that have like having sex with a lot of people and are quite easy, don't like being cheated on. I think that's just you, Pearl. A rotten Pearl.
Women love being cheated on.
No, I've said this so many times in the past, but I cannot.
Why would you like to be cheated on? I don't understand it. Like, well, for one, why would you want to cheat on someone? Why not just be with that other person, you know?
Stress how true it is that, look, I'm sorry, I just see cruel and selfish people as weak people, and I'm not interested in weakness, no matter how much money you make or how often you're at the gym, Chad. Weak is weak. It just like the problem with the red, it just prioritizes so much really base instincts, the whole red pill thing. Women will be more and more attracted to men with because of these biological reasons. I'm like,
how did I knew about the red pill stuff, and how did any of this become popular? It sounds so insane.
What? But we're not mindless biological organisms who that's the point. We're not just going around and even from that level, I would be less attracted because I would.
I need to make a phone call. Okay, let's continue.
I would be thinking all those things, but like they just don't. I mean, don't emphasize character. I like that. I'm sorry. Like, oh, it's just annoying because it's wrong as well. It's not just that I don't want it to be true because I'm idealistic. It's also like actually just Anyway. Yeah, it's worth saying that because Pearl will just present like these blanket statements about all women like going crazy for men like that, and I'm kind of thinking, I mean, like what women? Maybe some women, but not me. Not a lot of the women I know.
Yeah, like same here. Like you could go to any random, like literally. I think Pearl is incredibly detached from reality because I don't know how you can hold that position. Does Pearl like being cheated on? I'd like to know her definition of cheating, I guess.
It might be true on some level, but I'd be very careful, boys, with taking that as gospel and thinking that it will help you with the ladies. It might, but not every woman finds this as impressive as well.
Sorry about the lawnmower. We're gonna wait for it to pass. Okay.
Pearl seems to think it is. And personally, I absolutely would not think only twice, but 3 times before seriously considering someone like that. Look, people might get mad at me for saying that, and I think I'm shaming them. You live your life however you want. I don't care. I don't care what my friends do, and I don't think it makes you a bad person or anything. I'm not saying that. But if I'm considering dating someone, yeah, that's when I get to be prejudiced and intolerant, and that will factor into it, and it will change my opinion of them in a dating context. I wouldn't be able to help factoring it in. Attraction is unconscious, no matter how politically incorrect that might be. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No matter how politically incorrect that might be, I don't know what to tell you. Into it, and it will change my opinion of them in a dating context. I
hear all these fat activists and all these other people saying, normalize being attracted to fat people or this or that. You don't really get to decide what you're attracted to, really. And I wouldn't say it's unfortunate. I would say it's just how it is, You're attracted to who you're attracted to, and you don't really get a decision that. So I think that's just how it is.
Wouldn't be able to help factoring it in. Attraction is unconscious, no matter how politically incorrect that might be. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. Skin Club. Sounds bad.
Wait, hold on.
So
Skin Club sounds like a porn site or something.
there is another issue I have with some of the red pill ladies, and I think so many men don't see this because, no offense, but a lot of men are just really bad at spotting women who are acting from self-interest. If those
That's fair. I've been bad at that in the past.
Women are just saying things that they want to hear. Boys, women have been doing this forever. Let's be a little more discerning, please. Yeah, so there's this really bratty and superior attitude amongst some of the red pill women that I find obnoxious, which is funny because those are the things they're constantly accusing other women of being. So some of the first videos that I ever saw of Pearl were these short...
looking into it, I'm during the military. At least I hope I can. Alright, so I'm getting some waivers. I've been diagnosed with PTSD, but I've never had any symptoms, all this stuff. But, wait a sec. But, in the military, trauma bonding is a thing, and you all work together, you all struggle together, and you become better friends. I think we should do maybe a simpler or not as aggressive form in that in schools, or at least I might do that with my kids, just like get them to do stuff together, do hard stuff together so that they know if you struggle with someone, you understand their struggle. You know, because you did the same thing. I think we should do that in schools. Tell me what you think. Jesus Christ. Okay, let's go.
She did with her friend, who I believe is another red pill woman. And when I tell you the pure amount of cringe from these videos made my organs die inside my body. When I tell you to prepare yourselves, I don't want you to think that I'm joking. Maybe get into the brace position because this is bad. So they made a few of these shorts together, and okay, I'll play them and tell me if they don't fit this scenario. So this series of videos they made when they were hanging out together, this reminds me. So you know when you were at school, okay, you were at school, and then a group of girls would get in a fight, and then two of the girls involved, this sounds really specific, but tell me if I'm wrong, two of the girls involved would have a sleepover, and then they'd go on Facebook.
I'm gonna take your word for it. I didn't hang out with many people in school. I kind of did my own thing.
And post like passive aggressive.
I did wrestling in school, so it was just really school, wrestling, then home.
Pictures showing how much of a good time they were having, or post status updates that were like snide digs at the girls they were in a fight with, and get all like uppity and bratty and post it all online. And it was utterly embarrassing, but also kind of forgivable because they're 12. Yeah. So imagine two adult women being childish enough to do that, and also their fight is with all of the women on the internet.
To the single women mad because we believe in submitting to a man. Well, for one, you care. If you didn't care, you wouldn't have made this, you know? You clearly care enough to make this, okay? So you're just wrong, you know? And I'm sorry, but I'm not. You clearly care. I don't like it when people say, oh, I don't care about this. They make a whole video about it, or they do something about it. Like, you care. It's okay to care. It's okay to care. It doesn't make you some type of superior. It doesn't make you superior or make you better because you don't care. It's okay to care about this thing.
The caption is, "We don't care," in capitals, which I personally find very convincing. Katie and Lucy got in a fight with Chelsea, Tara, and Sophie because they weren't invited to Sophie's party, and they really want those girls to know they don't care. They're having their own sleepover, and it's way more fun. And also, James doesn't even fancy Tara properly anyway because he was snogging Amy behind the bike shed, so who's the loser now? Loser. Take a picture. Talk to the hand because the face ain't listening. Okay, no, we need a plan. We need a plan for when we go into school. We need a plan for when we go into school tomorrow because they're gonna be so. I normally sit next to Tara in biology, but I'm not sitting next to that bitch. We have to go in early, and you have to sit next. We'll just sit next to me. We're just gonna ignore them, and we should actually we'll talk about how great. No, let's match. Let's match. Yeah, let's wear. Oh, let's match jackets. Okay, we'll match jackets. Oh no, wear the same hat. I can say I'm sorry, but I'm not.
Now
Get a pack of Phillies. You speak English, bitch? Watch.
And that's my internet.
How high do the levels of cringe have to be before you die of toxic shock? Asking for a friend. The thing is, outside of the odd feminist, does anyone actually care what you do in your personal life? I mean, I have questions, arguments, and disagreements with women should submit to men as a general statement. But if you want to
I think you do whatever you want in your relationship.
do that in your own personal relationship, it's none of my business, and I don't care. Do what makes you happy. This just feels like you're looking for a reaction and some attention, wanting to provoke people into either getting mad or praising you. I feel like if you really didn't care, you would just get on with it and not make passive-aggressive videos about it. But okay. Also, I find it weird that you address your statement
and also, it's okay to care. It's okay to care. It's okay.
Single women implying that other women's lack of submission is the reason they're single, when, isn't Pearl single? If you're going to be childish and trashy enough to flex your own desire...
The thing is, Pearl would have a better argument if she wasn't single.
...ability over other women on the internet, maybe, like, back it up, produce a man to prove that you've won over these feminists that no one wants. So, anyway, Katie and Lucy. I'm renaming them. You're teenage girls now. Katie and Lucy.
I don't hate the landscapers. I hate that they ruined my video. I live in an apartment. I'm not rich. Let's continue.
Continue their day out and sleep over together after all the other girls are mad at them, so they're going to go on Facebook and call them all fat. Take that, Chelsea, you skanky little bitch.
Allie, what do you say to the comments that say this set women back 50 years?
I don't think so, because women 50 years ago were a lot thinner.
Well, duh. You know, there were less fast food restaurants, less this and that. Just in general, you know, that's such an obvious thing. Yeah, it doesn't. She says it like it's a dig on modern women, but it would just. Okay, let's say it's so 1970. You know, in 1974, let's say just 74, and like it's let's say you're making some food, right? Choices. Fast food restaurant, you have one fast food restaurant and it's far away, you know? Or you can make some food which takes a while, and if you're not a good cook, it's not gonna taste good. It's just harder to be fat the further back you go, you know?
I don't know. I think they're wrong.
I don't think that's the dig you want it to be, you know, because with all the food we have today, especially the human body, designed to put on more food, designed to put on more fat, because obviously back in the Stone Age we didn't have a lot of food. There wasn't a lot of food available, so you had to store some to save it for later. That's what fat is. People are trying. I also don't like the fat actors saying, you know, fat is good. It's good being fat and all this stuff. It's literally just a storage device for when there's not a lot of food around, so it uses that instead of dying. You know, so in the modern era, fat isn't as useful. You know, eventually it will. Eventually, a couple thousand years later, people won't need to store fat as much, so people won't be as fat anymore.
That when Katie has her party, none of them will be invited. It will just be her and Lucy, and her dad's paying for a stretch limo to the cinema, and it's going to be so cool. So, bet you wish you'd invited us to your party now, Sophie, and you're fat. Do you guys remember the Hot Girls We Have Problems Too music video?
And again, like, she clearly meant that as an insult, because she thought it was funny, you know, when someone was being called fat. So when she said, you know, I didn't mean it as an insult, that was clearly a lie. More evidence.
You know, that those two girls made as a dig at, you know, at the other girls at their school. And it went viral because it was so embarrassing.
Look at me and tell me the truth. What do you do?
I've heard this song before. I thought it was a parody, but this is real. They're doing it for real, right?
When people don't know what we go through.
This is the same energy.
Hot girls, we have problems too. We're just like you, except we're hot.
Allie, what do you say to the comments that say this set women back 50 years?
Boys call me stuck up, girls say am conceited on behalf of all hot girls. Those comments aren't needed.
Women 50 years ago were a lot thinner.
I know that I'm hot, but textbook perfection really takes a lot.
Toe curling is all of that is. You know, it's the cringe you laugh at. It's not the cringe that makes you angry. But this final video I'm going to play really wound me up. So here Pearl is getting Ali, I think her name is, her friend, to respond to a comment. Now, this isn't a rude comment. It's not a disrespectful comment. And it makes a fair point. But Ali decides to respond like this.
Allie, she's a stay.
I'm a stay-at-home wife. You don't need to submit to your husband in order for them to treat you well and be a Saham. It's an equal partnership. For one, do what you want in your relationship. And I totally agree with this. You want a 50-50 relationship? You want this or that? You decide early in the relationship. What right do you have to tell somebody else about their relationship? She's talking about herself in this comment. I can understand if this commenter were trying to tell her about her life, but she's talking about her life. The alley over here.
You don't need to submit to your husband in order for them to treat you well and be a stay-at-home mom. It's an equal partnership.
I think a lot of women
She didn't read the first part either, so she doesn't have the whole context.
don't understand how they make their husbands look when they post something like this, that it's an equal partnership, that they don't admire him at all.
No, again, she never said that. She's never said she just said it's an equal. I would like to know if this alley person is dating someone. So she thinks.
Understand how they make their husbands look when they post something like this, that it's an equal partnership, that they don't admire him at all.
So Allie here thinks that an equal partnership means the woman doesn't admire her significant other. If that's what it is. How did that make any sense? Those two aren't connected at all. I don't get it. How does she connect it in her brain?
At all, that he's just there, and they're just best buddies doing this journey.
Well, for one, you can be best friends with your wife or husband. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, you kind of have to be in order to date them. You have to like the person enough to be more than friends, right? More than best buds, Something desirable enough about that person to you had to be able to jump the two stop gaps. Immediately go to dating,
Journey of life together. No,
and so you immediately take on friend as best friend,
it doesn't work that way. You should have a certain amount of reverence and respect for what
you can have reverence with it being an equal partnership,
what your husband does for you, because it's a very hard world out there for men, and he's doing
very
that
hard work for everyone. I would like to have a conversation with this woman, Allie. Real femme sapien. That might be Pearl and or real femme sapien. I would like to have a conversation with you. I was just zipping up my fly. I would like to have a real conversation with you about all this stuff. So,
for you. Video. It's not that you guys are not equal in importance for human reproduction, because we are, but we're not equal in design in any way. And a lot of men go around and they go to work.
None of being equal, not being equal in design, even or any of that stuff doesn't affect whether if it's equal partnership, because the relationship is there, because you can have put equal energy, the same amount of energy into relationship, and that can be equal, and that makes it equal partnership. You both put in the same amount of 50-50,
And
Or
guess
100,
what? They
100.
talk. They talk to each other about how their wives are treating them. And so when your husband talks about you, how do you want him to discuss you? You want him to be glowing, right? So I recommend, maybe putting him as your priority.
Just because you have a 50-50 partnership doesn't mean your partner doesn't love you, I don't understand where that comes from.
A little bit.
I find this attitude absolutely and completely unbearable. So you don't like it when other women criticize your relationship and what you choose to do.
To be fair to Allie here, Pearl didn't read the whole comment. Comment said, for me, a stay-at-home wife, and at least in that clip, Pearl didn't read the whole comment, So Allie's not getting the full context. So she may have thought that this commenter were talking specifically about Allie here and not about herself. But I still don't agree with what she said. It's just that if Pearl read out the whole comment, she may have said something different, and I may have agreed with it, may have not.
But your unhinged response to this woman is that she doesn't admire and respect her husband. You're behaving like one of those irrational feminists you dislike so much who act like, oh, you disagreed with me on one thing, therefore you hate women, with like no logic or anything involved. This woman disagrees with your definition of how a relationship should go. She does things differently with her husband, and therefore you have decided that she doesn't respect men. Are you a child?
What I think is sad is shaming a woman for being married to somebody
She doesn't respect men. Are you a child?
What I think is sad is shaming a woman for being married to somebody that she wants to be married to. Like, why are you mad?
You've also taken it upon yourself to speak for her husband. I don't know how you found the sheer bloody nerve to do that. I don't think the bloke would thank you for that. He and his wife probably agree on how they want their marriage to work.
Yeah.
But in your all-knowing wisdom, you've decided to speak for him and suggest that he feels unappreciated, unloved, not valued or respected, imply that his wife is a bad wife, and then you sit there with an attitude of, well, of course how I live my life is better, and I respect my husband more, and aren't I more feminine than her, and just a better person, really.
I think a lot of women don't understand how they make their husbands look when they post something like this, that it's an equal partnership, that they don't admire him at all.
It is possible that this woman just has a different opinion. That doesn't mean she's disrespectful or bad or wants to cuck her husband because she doesn't share your worldview. This is also a really gross and transparent attempt to pretend that your main concern here is men's issues, when actually all you're quite obviously doing is trying to present yourself as a better and more feminine woman than the
And that might be because nobody wants to date her. I know Pearl is single, and Allie might be single, so it might be she just wants to try and attract a man, and she's desperate. Allie,
the woman that you're tearing down, and you're hiding behind a concern for men to do it.
I recommend, maybe putting him as your priority a little bit.
Just kidding.
Because Allie doesn't talk about her husband in these clips, so she might be trying really desperate.
We're
It's sad.
perfect.
I wouldn't say you're acting with any ladylike grace and decorum. She's done that woman thing that, yes, I know we are angels, but we do sometimes also do this, of hiding something bitchy under pretend concern to make herself look better. I recommend treating your husband as your priority.
I recommend, maybe
it doesn't. She just wanted to make a point. I didn't care what the comment said, because the comment said nothing about making her husband less of a priority. She just said equal partnership. That could be 50-50. That could be 100-100. That equal partnership and not making him a priority don't connect. Because you can have an equal partnership and make him a priority.
Be putting him as your priority a little bit.
She just clearly wanted to make her own point and didn't care what the comment said.
This is cutthroat female competition disguised as a concern for men, and all the women in the room can see exactly what you're doing. What's so wild is that this is a traditional stay-at-home mother who left this comment, and it might just be that they could just disagree on the definition of the word. This could be as simple as semantics. Maybe she just has a different understanding of what submission means than you do. Maybe she has some really negative connotations attached to it. Did you think of that? Maybe
Yeah,
when
that's
she
true.
hears that, she thinks of something totally different than what you think of. And maybe if you had an insight into her personal life, you would think, oh, she is a good wife and a selfless person and respects her husband. And maybe a petty argument over this word isn't important. But no, you've considered none of that, and you've decided that it means she's mistreated her husband. You're behaving like girls in a fight, blasting it all over the internet to prove how much happier and better and popular you are than the girls you're fighting with. This is really embarrassing. This is how girls behave, not women.
I want to watch this. Thing on your stuff here.
Hot girls, we had problems too.
Because my internet is dying. So thank you, like and subscribe and comment. An authentic observer in my video. So bye.